Dear students and working accountants, welcome to my Expert Tally Prime YouTube channel. My name is Babura from Hyderabad. Today, in this video, we are going to discuss about the interest calculation part 2 in Tally Prime. That is Tally Prime 5.1 interest calculation part 2. So, before entering into the topic, a request to you, anyone entering or joining my what you call channel for the first time who are visiting my channel, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button and select all. You'll get notification for all the videos which I upload in my channel. And another one more very important thing is please watch every video till the end. If you skip the video in the middle, so you will learn only up to that point, and the balance topic you cannot understand. So it will be like half knowledge. So please view every video till the end only. And I will tell you an example. So in the case of colleges, we attend the college and we sit in the college at least for 2 to 3 hours every day. So only for academic qualification. But here we are learning the Tally Prime professional training, that is professional accounting training. So for this also we have to spend time. That is at least 40 to 50 minutes maximum. The video will be less than an hour. So you spend that time and you have to learn the topic, every topic very well. So visit the video, every video till the end. And after visiting, if the video is good, then please like the video. If you like, YouTube people will recommend this video to many people so that the others also will learn this topic. Now we will enter into our topic. So here today we are going to learn the interest calculation part 2. So already we completed part 1, that is the simple calculation, that is simple interest calculation with simple parameters, that is with simple settings or configuration or parameters. With simple parameters calculating the simple interest for loan we completed. Interest for loan we completed, and now we are going today the same thing, simple interest with a simple configuration, that is with simple interest parameters, how to calculate the simple interest for the debtors and creditors. Like first you will take up debtors. For the debtors, in the case of sales and purchase of goods, okay, first of all we will enter into the site, that is into the company. So we already created interest calculation. So in this we already completed the, I will choose that. So now in this case, first of all, so after completing creating the company, this is how you create the company. And then, so go to the F11 features. If you newly created a company, directly we will go to the F11 features. Otherwise, if it is existing company, click F11, go to the F11. So in this case, maintain accounts is yes, always. And now enable interest calculation, that we have to make yes. In addition to this, we are purchasing and selling goods, that is inventory. In this case, we require enable billwise entry also. Enable billwise entry, it is a must. If it is not there, we cannot calculate the interest. We will tell the next step, we will understand. So enable billwise entry is required, and maintain inventory and integrate accounts. These two are also important because we are dealing with inventory, and tax is not required and accept. So first main thing is enabling the billwise entry and enabling the what you call inventory books. We had an inventory feature. We are enabling the inventory feature, and then interest calculation also we are enabling. And now we will go to the now we will create the required ledgers. The required ledgers are when you are selling the goods, we create the sales ledger. When you are purchasing the goods, we create the purchase ledger, and the party ledger. When you are selling the goods, we will create the party is called a debtor. So under the sundry debtors group, we will get a debtor ledger. When you are purchasing the supplier ledger, that is the creditor ledger we will create under the group sundry creditors. Okay. So first of all, we will go to alter button. From directly from create, we can go and select alter. Select ledger and create. Or if we go to alter button and select the ledger, we will know all the ledgers which are already created. So already for the calculation of interest, simple interest in the case of loan, we created interest receivable under indirect income and loan. It is a loan, so loans and advance we created. Now we will create a party, that is a debtor for purchase, for selling the goods. Same thing like then I will tell you later. So now we'll take a for example Mahesh Traders is the party. So we are selling the goods. He will be sundry debtor under the sundry debtor. And in this case, we have to calculate the interest for the person. That is in the case of personal accounts only. So here in the sundry debtors, after the group, after the group, here maintain balance bill by bill because we enable bill wise entry. If you enable that, then you will get this option maintain balance says bill by bill. So yes, suppose even if you enable the enable bill wise entry, they sometimes this option will not be available, will not be visible. Then in such case, go to F12, that is configuration. See here, maintain the same thing here, the same wording, maintain balance bill by bill. The same thing will be in the configuration also. Maintain balance by it should be yes. By default, it should be yes. It will be yes only. Suppose if it is no, then this option will not be available. That is why in F12 configuration, this you have to enable that is the setting. This is we have to activate the maintain bill by bill, the maintain balance bill by bill option. We have to activate F12 features activation, F12 options activation, F11 features enabling. So I have to activate this. Now we can see this. So yes, and now come down and here activate interest calculation for this debtor. Interest is to be calculated. Come here. So here we have to give yes, and if you enter, we will get the interest calculation parameters. That is interest parameters will get here. We will get the first of all we get simple interest parameters, but in the case of debtors and creditors for the purchase and sale, the parameters will be a little bit different. Okay, here if you make it yes, so this is the interest parameters. So in the case of loan, from here only we will get, this is one line we are getting extra. See here, if you go to button, so alter master, if you go, alter means that will be displayed. If you go to the alter button in the gateway, we will get the display like that. Alter button, alter master, you will get this alteration page. So master, alteration master, alteration. Go to ledger and see the loan to Ajay. So in that case, when you activated the interest, that is activate interest calculation, this is the parameters we got. This only from include transaction from there. So rate, period, and that rate period and balances. So in this case, it was like that. But now we go back. So here, if you go to this party, this is so now in this case we got so here if you create this after click if you click escape we'll go back. So if you activate this interest here in this case, so this one extra we got, this is calculate interest transaction by transaction, because in the case of sales and purchases there will be, suppose it is debtor sales, so there will be many sales. So every 10 days 15 days like that, many times we will sell the goods, we will make the entry for each transaction. So from the date of that transaction till a particular date, all the transactions till a particular date, for each transaction from the date of that transaction up to a certain date, we have to calculate interest for every transaction. So transaction for every transaction means interest is to be calculated by every transaction by transaction. That you have to give yes. We have to yes, because sales and purchase means there will be many transactions. So yes, you will take yes. And now again, one more option you get. If you make it yes, if you make it no, So it will not get it. We will not get. If you make it, yes, there will be one transaction by transaction means every transaction when you are making override parameters for each transaction. Override parameters for each transactions. This one we have to check it. This is it means when you make a transaction, when you enter a transaction for every transaction, these parameters from this is not required. So rate, period, and the balances, this one line, these parameters, it will ask you at the end of every transaction, it will ask you, because if you want to change from that transaction for that transaction, if you want to change, you can make the changes, you can make here. If you don't want to make change, just go and click yes, click OK, click enter, it will go on. So the same parameters will exist, and for every transaction the same parameter. So at the end of every parameter, every transaction, it will ask you the parameters. That means if you want to change, so we will make it no now for the time being. Later I will show that also here. So this is the inclusion of include transaction date for interest calculation. This is for amounts added means from the beginning when you add the amount. So then it is no means don't add. If you give yes, it will add the same date. That is April 1st. If you sell the goods, the date also will be added. That is the interest will be calculated from the date itself. That is from 1st April, the interest will be calculated. That means the date will be added. So for the amount added, yes is given, it will be added. And for the amount deducted means when the amount is paid at the end or at the time of calculation, then it is to be deducted. That is the date will be left off. That is up to the previous date, it will be calculated. That is the date will be reduced or the date will be deducted. So from 1st April, if you start, if you add the first date, April 1st, so from 1st April, the interest will be calculated. And at the last date, it will deduct. So the first one is for adding the beginning date, and the second one is deducting the last date. That is if you give yes also. So the first one will be added, last one will be deducted. If you give first one no, first one will not be added, and last one will not be deducted. So first one add, last one deduct. Yes, yes, add, deduct. Don't add, don't deduct, like this. So but always give both yes or no. But here only when the amount is paid, then only the second option will work. That is adding the date, delete, reducing the date, that is deleting the date or not deleting the date. That is why always you keep no. And then generally the interest will be calculated from today. So till tomorrow it is one day. For today itself, one day is not there. That is why from today, so next day will be the one day. That is why you should not be added. So if you give no, it is good, then come here, then come down. For example, the percentage, it may be yearly percentage or monthly percentage. So if for example it is 2% means 2% per month it may be, or if it is 15 means 15% per year. So whatever it may be. So generally we will take up 2% per month means, so per year 2 into 12 it will be 24% per year. Per 1 month it is 2%. If it is 1%, so 1 into 12, 12% will be the rate for monthly, for yearly. Okay. So you will take up the rate here, and here it will go. What is how to calculate this rate is monthly rate or yearly rate. If it is monthly, there are two types of months: 30 days a month, calendar month. 30 days a month means whatever the number of days in a month, the monthly will be taken as 30 days. So if it is 31 days, only 30 days will be taken as a month, and one day will go to the next month. For example, 28 days in the February. If you take 30 days, it will take 2 days again from the next month. So total 30 days will be calculated. So always 30 days will be taken. If there are less days, some days will balance days will be taken from the next month. There are more days. The excess days after 30 days, the excess date will be added to next month. That is why this is 30 month. And calendar month means irrespective of the number of days in a month, one calendar month will be taken. January 1st to 31st, 1 month. February 1st to 28th, it will be taken as 1 month. Irrespective of the number of dates, the month wise, it will take as a month. That is called calendar month. Because a year, 365 days a year means year will be calculated as 365 days. If there are 366, every 4 years, we'll get a leap year. It will be 366 days, it will take only 365 days. One day will be omitted, that will go to the next year. Calendar year means irrespective of 365 days or 366 days, 1 year will be taken from January 1st to December 31st, April 1st to March 31st. That will be taken as that is from one date to the previous day in the next year. It will be taken as 1 year. It is called calendar year. This we will take up for calendar month. Okay. And then here balances means all balances means we are selling and purchasing from the same party means debit balance, credit balance will be there. Then you can take all balances. Or when you are selling the goods only, selling that to the debtors, he will be a debtor, it will be a debit balance always. That is why you can select credit debit balances only. Debit balances only we can select in when you are selling the goods. When you are purchasing the goods, he will be a creditor, his balance will be credit. So always credit balance will be there. We can select credit balances only. But in the case of purchasing and selling from the same party, so there may be debit balances or credit balance. Purchasing more means credit balance will be more. Credit balance will be there. Selling more means there will be debit balance. Sometimes balance will be debit, sometimes balance will be credit because of purchasing and selling. Then you can take all balances. But now we are selling goods to him. He's a debtor. We'll take up debit balance only. So like that, the parameters are set up. Then accept the ledger. Okay. Now we will create another one. Next one. When you are selling the we are select, we have to create sales account. So it comes under sales accounts. And for this, for this activation of interest is not required. It's only for personal accounts. So it will be no as it is. So this is created. Now we'll make an entry. Now we'll make an entry. So go to vouchers. Take the date as 1st July, or you can take, for example, 1st June we will take. 1st June will take the date. 1st June we will take up the 1st June. And now we will sell the goods. We will sell the goods. So for selling the goods, go to sales voucher. And here for sales voucher or purchase voucher, whatever it may be, debit note, credit note also, whatever it may be, we have to take the I mean, this item invoice we have to take because item invoice we have to take because this is we are dealing with goods. That is why item invoice we take 1st June. Or what is the party? Who is the party? Party already we created. We created Mahesh Traders. Mahesh Traders and dispatch details we are sending. Selling means sending the goods. Dispatch details and party details. Then come when you are selling the goods, the ledger we have to create sales ledger. So how we will create sales ledger? We created already sales accounts. So sales ledger. Then come down. What are the material we are selling? For example, we are selling laptop, Dell laptop we are selling. Laptop because there are some in the voucher types, there are many voucher types, voucher types. So except these 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and debit note, credit note, except these 8 voucher types, if you activate some already activated some other vouchers, then this the quantity, rate, amount, this three columns will come in separate window. Item allocation for Dell laptop. Item allocation for Dell laptop. So here quantity, rate, and amount will be there. Quantity, rate, and amount. So that we can enter here. That will automatically go there. So quantity, how much you are selling? Only one, sorry, two quantity you are selling. Dell laptop. Each one is 25,000, for example. So it will be 50,000 rupees. So this is the now we are it is we have selected this bill wise entry. So then come down, and the total after the total it lost the bill wise details for the Mahesh Traders. So this is the new bill. So it comes under new reference number 9. So in the case of sales, the voucher number itself is the invoice number. So reference means bill number or invoice number. New reference, that is the new bill number 9. So go to this 50,000, 50,000. We have accepted. So 1st June we made the sales, and then after that now we have to calculate the interest. This interest will be this is completed. Interest is to be calculated here. See, display more reports, then go to statement of accounts, then go to interest calculations. Interest calculation, there are four options. One is interest receivable. So when we are selling to the goods to the debtors, so we have to receive the interest for all the debtors to whom we activate the interest. They have to pay interest to us, because if you click it, we will see the list of all the debtors to whom we activated the interest calculation. So their interest calculation will be shown. Here you see, we have only one. That interest calculation is showing. We'll show it detail later. Okay. This is, so if there are many, all the data will be shown. In the case of interest payable means when you purchase goods, we have to pay interest to the creditors. In that case, all the creditors accounts in which we activated the interest calculation. So that will be, the list will be shown here. All the persons. And if you go to group, so all the groups we have sundry debtors. So if you click this sundry debtors, the list will be shown for all the debtors. And if you do loans and advances, to whomever we give the loan, it will show here, because this interest is not calculated now here. Because this already calculated and amount is also paid, there is no balance now. Okay. So like this, you can calculate this one. Or if you take ledger, all the ledger accounts will be shown, either debtors or creditors. The ledger accounts will be shown. So whoever it may be, whom we want to see the interest, so that you have to select. It's a debtor. Mahesh traders select, and some other creditor also. If you select that, that interest will be known. So individual debtors or individual ledgers, if you want to know the interest, then select this ledger. Go here. Here. So June 1st, we made the entry. June 1st, we made the entry. And for example, from June 1st August, he came. So he said, so tell me the total amount with interest payable. What is the amount payable? I will make the payment. Then you have to make the statement in calculation of interest. So go to F2. So not 1/4. You can, even if you give 1/4, it's okay. We sold the goods on 1st June. 1st June to 1st August. 1st June, we made the sale, and 1st August is asking the interest amount, is asking the amount, what is the amount payable. Then up to that, we have to calculate interest. You got it. So interest is calculated. So from 1st June to 1st August. So June whole month, July a whole month, and August 1st. That is 2 months. But here the invoice number is given. And the details, if you want to see, we can say Alt F1 or Alt F1 or Alt F5 or simply enter. Simply enter that. We'll know the details. If you want to close it, again enter Alt F5, open, close. Alt F1, close. Details and enter this. See here, 50,000 is the amount. And see here, 1st June is the date of transaction. In the settings, that is in the parameters, amount added, that is you have given no. That means don't add the first beginning date. So it is not added. 1st June we sold, so interest will be calculated from 2nd. So 2nd June, because that day is not added. For example, suppose if you go there, alter master, and here go to ledger, Mahesh traders, go to interest page. See here, if you make this one, yes. If you make this one, don't, this one will not work unless at the end, if you pays before, after payment only we have to calculate interest. Otherwise, it will not work. So only this we can take. So accept this ledger, then escape. So interest. So what is it? We made it yes. That means the beginning date is to be added. So here it is calculating from 1st August. 1st July itself it is calculating. Then it is 62 days up to 1st August only. Because if you pay this amount, then calculate, that is amount deducted. If you pay the amount, then only the amount will be reduced on the account. So if it is reduced, then it will be, the date will be also deducted. The interest will be calculated to the previous date. That is 31st July it will calculate. Okay. So that is why unless you make the payment, it will not calculate. That's why don't make it always no. And the first date only yes or no. So we will take only no, because that is the correct method. So here, come here and make it no. Both you know. Both keep no. Accept. Ledger is accepted. Escape. So now 2nd July to 1st August, that is the period. So 1 month 30 days, 1 month 31 days, April, June 30 days, July 31 days, but it is showing 61 days. But whether it's 61 days or 60 days, it will be 2 months only. Per month it is 1,000. 50,000 into 2%, 1,000. For 2 months, it is 50,000 into 2%, 1,000 per month. For 2 months, it is 2 months. Suppose if you take 1st June to 1st September, if you take, see, it is 3 months. So now it is 3,000 rupees. 1st June to 1st September. For example, take up 3 months. After 3 months, 1st September he came, he asked us to tell the amount payable. So it is the interest. Okay. But here, so this is only interest calculation. This amount is not added to the party. If you go to the party ledger, now here you see, if you want to see the party ledger, not making any changes, see the party ledger, see ledger vouchers. If you click, so the ledger list will come. So my status, this is the ledger. See here, 50,000 rupees is the sale. So the same amount is the balance. Interest is not added to that. Interest is not transferred. That's why that interest will not be escape. Interest will not be transferred. So we have to manually transfer the interest. And then one more thing you can do here, after making the sale purchase, after making the sale on 1st June, what you are doing, how you will calculate interest? Go to display more reports, then go to statement of accounts, then interest calculation, then select the ledger and the particular. All these things you have to do. Okay. Instead of this, we can do in another way. After completing the voucher, so without going back and without going back to the, see, if you go back to the gateway of tally, without going back and clicking all these, what we can do from here itself, you can make all the work with the help of go to. If you click go to, what you are doing now, we have to see the interest. But in this case, go to, just simply go to that option. That option is not shown. Here you can see INT, if you make that is interest. So interest page will come. So ledger interest calculation. If you click that, directly the ledger will open. So to trader. So in that case, display more reports, then statement of accounts, then interest calculation, then go to the particular ledger. If you click, then you will get the ledger. Then you have to click this. Here, from this here, directly you can go to the page. Then Alt F1 or enter or Alt F5. So we can see the interest. So like this, interest you can calculate from the gateway of tally. We can go to the interest page, or from here itself, voucher itself. With the help of go to, we can go to the interest calculation directly, because on the go to page in the search bar, just you type interest, then you will get the ledger interest calculation. If you click that, you will go to the ledger directly, select the ledger, enter, you will get this. Okay, this is, and after this, now this is only up to July it is taken. We'll take up 1st June to 1st September, 3,000. Okay, and now here, this is to be transferred. For transferring this also, we have to, because we can transfer with the help of journal voucher of F7. Journal voucher also we can make entry. We can transfer the amount, but with the help of journal voucher, it will be a little bit problem and little bit confusing. The interest amount, what is the amount? 3,000. This amount is to be entered in the journal manually. We have to enter in the journal manually, as well as when it is showing the bill-wise details for the interest, bill-wise details, it will show the total bill amount. Then we have to change it to the bill-wise amount, and also it will show credit. We have to change it to debit. All this is a little bit confusing. Sometimes you will commit mistake. Instead of that, what we can do is we can transfer this with the help of, debit note, because this is a debtor, that interest is to be debited to his account. He is a debtor, already debit balance. Interest is also to be debited to his account. Okay, so to debit his account, we have to enter in the debit note. So for the debit note also, from here itself we can complete. See here, the debit note also, see debit note. So you'll go here. How to make the debit note? We have to create a class. So go to alter page here. So in the gateway of tally, one is interest calculating. Here we can do that directly. We can do there very easily. But the second one is the transferring. We have to create. We have to change. We have to alter the voucher type. We have to create one class in the voucher type. So we require debit note. In the debit note, So here, that is actually it will not be there. It will not be there. Okay. So what we have to do is now we have to create a class for debit note means we have to debit the party account that is interest is receivable for the data. So interest interest receivable, that is the class we have to, that is the class interest receivable for the debit note for the sundry debtor. Suppose if you purchase in the case of creditor, we have to pay interest, then interest will be payable. The interest will be payable, will be added. His account is to be credited. So then we have to use credit note. In the credit note, we have to create the class interest payable. We have to create the class interest payable. Okay. Then after creating this, here it will ask you, is this class to be used for accounting, interest accounting? For interest only we created, so make it yes. And this amount of interest is to be taken as, is to be treated as compound interest. No, we are creating on calculating only simple, so keep it as no. So now accepted. Okay, now accept this voucher. Say accept this voucher. With the help of this voucher, we can transfer the interest. So that the same thing can be done, the same thing can be done, the same work can be done there itself without going to the gateway of tally with the help of Alt F2. That is Alt 5, Alt G, go to. We can do that. So this I am. So here, if you accept this, so this debit note will be altered, and now that we can use the, then you can use there. But now here, the same thing we can there work there, do there. So okay. Now we'll go to that voucher. Okay, that interest calculated now. So in that interest is already calculated. So INT, if you take interest calculation, traders, and 1st June to 1st September, this is already done. Now here, the same thing to be transferred with the help of debit note. Here itself we can do. So here, what I have to do? We will transfer to with the help of debit notes. We have to make the entry. That is, the entry is to be made voucher. So create voucher. We have to create the voucher now. Create the voucher. Which voucher you have to create? Which voucher you have to create? That is, the interest is to be calculated and transferred on 1st September. Select the date 1st September, and interest to be transferred through how, which voucher we use? Alt F5. That is debit note. Alt F5 debit note. And in this debit note itself, what we can do here? Here debit note we can do alter. Sorry, from here what we have to do is, not first creating, first alter master. This debit note is to be altered. We have to create a class alter master. Which one? Go to voucher types. So the same work we will do here. Instead of going back to gateway of tally and doing there, here itself we are doing the same thing here. Click here. So instead of from here, instead of going on clicking enter, so here directly if you click with mouse, you'll get interest receivable. Interest receivable. This is the class. So it is easy to use for interest accounting. Yes. Is it to be treated as compound interest? No. Accept and accept this. So this voucher type is what you did. It is altered. Now we have to make the entry. Entry means create voucher, and which is the entry we have to make, which is the voucher? Alt F5. If you take, see it is asking which class you want. This is general debit note for purchase returns, etc. This is for interest calculation, interest receivable. Select this, the same debit note. It will show the voucher type, interest voucher class, interest calculation, and this is in double entry mode. Like voucher, we have to use it. We have to make it as, we have to use the this one or debit note. It's okay, no problem. And this is debit note is only for transferring the interest. Now here 1st September, come down here. What is the debit? Who is the person? The personal account or the debtor account is to be debited. His account is to be debited. Is it the Mahesh Traders? And what is the invoice? What is the invoice? And one more thing I will tell you. But before this is one entry, and one more thing I will do. Before this, I will tell you. So here, if you go to the alter master in the ledger, Mahesh Traders, If you go here, this one we have made it no. Override parameters for each transaction means, but at every transaction, it will be asking you. At every transaction, the parameters will show up. We can change it. So if you make it yes and accept, okay, accepted, go back go back. Now the interest is not seen from 1st June to 1st September. Interest is not available now because after making the entry, after calculating the interest, we changed the parameter. That is why it is not showing. So we have to go back and we have to go back and we have to see go to ledger voucher, and here a ledger voucher or debit note. I mean debit. Go to this place and this is the only entry. Again we have to just open the entry and we have to accept this again, just like a new entry. But here is a new entry, that is new reference. Now it will ask you the interest parameters. So the first one, that is why before itself, in the beginning itself, when you are making the setting, if you give yes, so then at every transaction, it will ask you. So it is, if you want to make any changes, you can change. Otherwise, see, it is showing all balances. So it is changed. It is showing all balances. We will take up debit balance only and accept. So if you do it now escape, escape, escape. See here. So this is okay. Now the interest is showing now. So when the alteration is completed, when the transaction again opened and accepted, then it is showing. For example, we will make another entry now. It's the same date. Say create voucher. So on the first what you call June. 1st June itself, we make another sale to the same person. We make another sale to the same person. Sales, this time we'll take another one. Another one we are taking only one number. For example, if you take 30,000, so it is accepted. Now see here, this is the second one. So new reference number 10, invoice number 10. After this new reference, that is invoice details, it will ask you again the parameter. At the end of every transaction, it will ask you. So here also, if you want to change, you can change debit balances only. So it is completed. Okay. Now go back, go back, go back. See here. See all that. If you make Alt F1, both will be shown. See here for 50,000 from September to 1st June to 1st September. So this is the date for 33,000 we got. And here this amount is 30,000. Same date 2nd July to 2nd June to 1st September. The same period, but the amount is 30,000. Okay. So first one is 50,000, 30,000 into 2% into 3 months. So 1,800 rupees actually calculated. Okay. So like this, if at the time of every transaction, it will ask you that one. But now what I do is now it is, I will change it now. Alter master, come to the ledger, loan to Mahesh, traders, we will make it no. Okay. If you make it yes, every time it will ask you. If you keep it, it will not ask you, or you can make it no problem. We can make it no. Yes. Okay. No problem. Accept the ledger, come down. Now we have to transfer, because for this showing this, I made another entry. Now total interest will transfer. So for transferring, what you have to do? We have to altered master, that is created class interest receivable in debit note is created already. Now we have to make entry, that is voucher. So which one you require voucher? We require Alt F5. Alt F5 debit note interest receivable. So it will show. Okay. Now the date will be the last date 1/9. That is the payment date. But which they are going to know the interest and come down here. So he has to pay Mahesh Traders. So come to Mahesh Traders. So there are two entries there. So two bills. That is why calculate interest by transaction from every transaction till the date called specified date. First one is 9, number 9. That is invoice 9. This we will select. Next one is this one. We will select accept, 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 and see 4,800 rupees. That is 3,000 plus 1,800. Total amount is shown here. Okay. Now come down. It is showing as new reference. New reference is debit note new reference. We got to go to against reference only, because against the invoices only we are getting interest. Against reference, we have to select number 9, that is number 9 is 3000. So here total amount is shown 3000, and again new difference number 10, 1800 rupees. So both are showing. Otherwise, no problem. If it shows one number, total interest will be shown, no problem. And credit. So this is the interest receivable by us, interest receivable. So we have to create the interest income. So we have to create interest receivable, that's already created. So what we have to do is we have to go to control L, if it control enter, interest receivable. Under even if it is given as interest receivable, that will be received immediately now. That is why we are showing as interest income. That is indirect income. Indirect income it is. It is income, so indirect income. Then for this, interest calculation is not required because only for personal accounts. Accept. So here, so this amount is credited, and here being interest receivable on from debtor, or being interest receivable, being interest receivable, that narration you can write and accept. So now here amount is transferred. So now in the, if you go back, escape. So this is interest, ledger interest calculation, 1st September, June to 1st September. So the interest is not shown. If it is not transferred, it will be shown. If you close that, it will go off. Again, if you calculate from 1st June to 1st September, 1st June to October, the total interest will be calculated. Whenever you want, if you open this page and give that date, it will calculate till you transfer it to that one. Now here you see, now from here itself, go to ledger vouchers. Ledger voucher means ledger account. If you go to ledger voucher, select Mahesh Traders and select the total date. See here, 50,000 is the first transaction, 30,000 is the second transaction, and then now interest receivable, 4,000 credited, total debited, and the total amount is payable is 84,500. Okay, and escape, escape, escape. You go to the same page, or there itself, what you call here itself, ledger, ledger vouchers. So there itself, so here, see here we know the amount. Here itself, see the amount is paid now. So we can make the entry here itself. Create voucher. Create voucher means on 1st September itself. Create voucher. So what is the voucher we have to now will get? We are receiving the money. That amount will be paid by him. So go to receipt voucher. Go to receipt voucher on 1st September. From who is giving? Receipt voucher. Credit means credit the giver. Who is giving? Mahesh Traders giving. So what is the amount? 84,800. 84,800 rupees is the amount he is paying. So against reference means two bills against 953,000 including interest, and another one against 10, 31,800. 30,000 plus 1,800, 31,000. That is the total amount with interest we are receiving. And debit, if we receive cash, select cash. That is a big amount if we receive bank. So create a bank, State Bank of India. Sorry, State Bank of India. So it comes under bank accounts. Bank accounts. Then interest is not to be calculated now. Sometimes bank we take loan, we will calculate interest. But here we are receiving the money. That's all. No interest is calculated. And the number again, IFSC code, all these details we will get. So now, so State Bank of India is credited 84,800 newly created. So that is the debit balance, and my status amount is paid. So balance is nil. This one is like this, and here it is value through bank we received from him. So he will give the check. So the check number is given by him, and here then bank name is, this is our bank, and this is the check given by him. So his bank, he will give the check from his bank. We have to select, to make space bar. So in the case of license version, list of the banks will be shown. So State Bank, suppose it is HDFC. So select HDFC Bank India. It will show India yearly. From the countries only it will show. Not every branch in our country. Whatever countries that branch is available, the country name will be shown. So now India will take India HDFC Bank India. Suppose if it is not like that, if you see you are using education mode, then only these two options will be available. Bank list will not be there, not applicable. Specify bank name. Then if you take specify bank name, you can give HDFC Bank. If you give that, so it will accept. Go back and see now. It is taking HDFC banks automatically. So this one. So being the amount received from debtor or being amount received with interest, total amount we received. Now if you go and see, go to the ledger vouchers, go to the party, see Mahesh Traders. So here, if you go and see the dates, so this is all debits, 50,000, 30,000, this is interest, total amount, and total amount is paid, received by us. If you receive some amount, the balance will be there. So 84,800 rupees, total amount is paid, the account is closed. There is no balance. Like this, we have to calculate the interest. So two things we can do. Two things we can do. One is everything, first of all, we have to make the settings in the ledger, party ledger, in the activate interest calculation. Then we have to give the parameters and everything. And after that, make the entry for sales. After that, from that date to which date, when he's asking to pay, when he said you will pay the money, tell me the interest and with interest. Tell me the amount with interest. Then you have to calculate. So then go to the first time. We can go to first time we have to go. First time in the this one, have to go here, and then this one R statement of accounts, then interest and all these things are from year itself here, which is interest calculation. We have to go to the party ledger. We have to go to the party ledger. That is, we are making interest. No, we are making the voucher na. After making the sales voucher, so this will be the voucher. After completing voucher, so it will be blank. So the voucher is created. From here itself, you can go to the calculation page. Here, interest, if you type interest calculation, go to the interest calculation, select the party, then select the date. Select the date. This is already created, selected, interest is calculated, transferred, so the no interest is shown. Sarana? And also amount is paid. If the amount is not paid, the interest will be shown as it is. And if you give some other longer period, the interest will be calculated for the whole period. From the beginning to the whole period, because interest is not transferred. If it is transferred, interest will not show. If it is under, interest will not show. And if you give some other period, again interest will be calculated for the other period. If the amount is paid, then no interest will be calculated. Okay. Like this, you have to make the entry for the, I have to calculate the interest as well as make the entry. This is simple interest with simple parameters for purchase and sales. So the same thing for creditors also. When you purchase the goods, the ledger will be not sales ledger. We have to create purchase ledger, and the party we have to take as creditor, and we have to take as creditor, and in the parameters we have to take the period, then we have to take the credit balances only. And then when creating the debit note, we should not use debit note, we have to use credit note, because his account is to be credited. Credit note we have to use, and the class will be interest payable. We have to pay interest payable. With that, we can make the entry, same entries we can, and at the end, the interest will be transferred. The interest will be expense. So then debit in the debit note, when you are making the credit note, we have to make the interest to be transferred with the help of the credit note. Then interest party account will be credited, party account will be credited, and the interest is to be paid. That is why it is expense. Interest payable is debited and the party account is credited. And then at the end, we have to make the payment, receiving the payment, then we'll make the payment. Everything will be same in the opposite side, but the names will be different. For debit note, we use credit note there, interest receivable here, interest payable there, Sunday debtor here, Sunday creditor there, sales here, purchases there. Like this, we have to make the entries. So with this, I stop this. This will be a confusing. There are some more parts with little more advanced configurations. So that's why you have to make the practice with the imaginary figures. You can practice number of times. Okay. With this, I am closing. Wish you all the best.